So this is the start of my demonstration. I'm going to demonstrate the functionality first before going into the GUI. So I'm going to go ahead and start the server. I'm going to start the client. So I'm going to join in as Bob first. I'm going to click connect. So now Bob's joined and the server's received the connection. I'm going to join in as someone else now. I'm going to join in as Jane. So Jane is connected now, and both Bob and Jane can see everyone's connected. And this is updated. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the private messages. I'm going to send a chat request, from Jane to Bob. So now Jane in the private room, and then she sends the chat request. So Jane's we're going to accept the chat request from Bob. Now Bob's in the room as well, and both of them can send messages. So I'm going to say hello, Bob, exclamation mark. So yep, so both people receive the message. So there's a username here as well as a timestamp. And Bob's gonna say hello, Jane. Yep. So Bob, we can see that Bob has sent the message. So we're gonna close this now. So we're gonna create a chat room now. So Jane's gonna create a chat room, and we're gonna join the chat room immediately afterwards. So Jane can see that Bob's outside the chat room, and Bob is going to join the chat room as well. Now they're both here. I'm going to create a new client. Say his name's Harris. So Harris is connected to the server now, and both Jane and Bob, who are in the chat room, can see that Harris is outside the chat room. So we're gonna invite Harris, who's outside the chat room. Okay, so now Harris has received the invite to join the chat room. So it doesn't say private room. If it's a private room, then it's a one-to-one a room, but this is a public room, so it's just Jane's room. So Harris accepts the invitation. Now Harris is inside the room, and Harris is going to say hello everyone. Yeah, so if it functions basically how you would expect, you have the name, the timestamp, basically exactly the same as one-to-one room, except there's more people in this room. Yeah, so that's the functionality demonstrated. We'll go back and show the GUI. Oh yeah, so when everyone leaves the room deletes itself. So we're gonna show the main window now. So basically I followed the schematic one-to-one. So we have the IP address, port, name, connect, everything's the same. So we're gonna connect, we're gonna show the join room GUI. I basically followed this one-to-one, except for the here, the invitation here. It was just much handier to have it all on one page rather than to make so many new windows. So the one-to-one chat, I don't have anyone connected now, but it was basically the exact same as this. The group chat, we'll go ahead and create a group room. Basically exactly the same, except for we can also see who's outside the room and invite them. So again, having this all on one GUI page simplifies things. So this is the only thing that I didn't make that was a new window. I just put it on existing windows, so that's a slight modification for me. So this is my system diagram. The main GUI thread will initialize the client socket thread. Then the client socket thread will establish a connection with the server using the TLS 1.2, which is just a wrapper over the socket layer. After that, any communication between these two threads are done over global variables because they're on different threads. So based on what we do here, it will set a global variable here, which then the client socket thread knows to send a message. When the client socket thread receives a message, it will know to set a variable here, which then is immediately updated by the GUI thread.